Hi there. A few people have been asking me to make a little Glacors guide, so here it is. This is my little Glacors guide that I'm going to make. I've looked at a few guides, and the problem I've seen with those guides in general is they don't really address how to effectively deal with the Glacites. They show a method, but I've seen a few videos and I've tried it, and the method I do, I believe, is a better method. So I'm going to quickly go through the basics. Requirements for this method: you at least want to have the celestial gear and a chaotic staff. I started doing this method when I have that gear. Since then I've got quite a few boots and the like, and I'm up in Virtus now. This is just about the best gear. You want a celestial, is it celestial? No, a seismic wand and a seismic singularity. But apart from that, this is as good as it gets, really, without using that degradable armour. You want a scrimshaw of the elements, but again, this is somewhat optional. It helps, it speeds it up a little bit, but it doesn't make all that much difference. The Seer's Ring can be replaced with the 6th Age circuit. The Arcane Stream can be replaced with that amulet, the Dragon Rider amulet, which is quite good. Cape's interchangeable. You can use a max cape if you haven't got comp, or if not, I'd probably advise the Sardamin, like the god capes from the Mage Arena. That's all I really have to say. Auras, it's nice to use penance, but you can only use that every 3 hours, and at the time I'm making this I used penance a few hours ago, so I'm not currently able to use it. So anyway, let's get right into actually doing them, and I'll show you the way to deal with the Glacites, which is the main point of making this video, because killing the Glacors themselves, the 30k damage, is relatively simple. Fairy code's DKQ, and the inventory again, sorry I've not actually mentioned that. Overloads are pretty necessary. I guess you could probably do it with extreme defense and extreme magic, but I don't know, I've got overloads, I've not tried anything else. If you want to do it with extreme defense and magic, I'd probably just advise you to train herb. Overloads are pretty gnarly, so I'd get those. Super restores or prayers are relatively interchangeable. The first guide I ever watched used super restores, so I've been using them ever since. They are a bit more expensive, but they also restore a few more prayer points, which is nice. This invent setup I have here lasts about an hour. It depends. If you get reasonably lucky, you can do all your overloads. If not, you generally run out of prayer points with about 1 dose of overload left, so it's a 55-minute trip. Charming for picking up the charms saves you a load of time, because I leave quite a large amount of the drops on the floor. Generally, if it's under 20k, I won't be picking it up just because of the time it will take. It's not really worth it. The Tokel Zoe is good for banking. It takes about 20 seconds to bank and then get back here, so you're really good. You don't have to do an hour trip. If you're just trying Glacors for the first time, I definitely advise you don't. When I first started coming here, my first trip was probably about 10 minutes long, and I used an invent full of food. When you're trying to get into it, I'd probably not bother flasking your overloads and just take 2 4-dose overloads with prayer restores. Try and do a 40-minute trip. Bring like 3 or 4 food with you. I wouldn't advise familiars. I see a lot of people here with a unicorn and stuff. The problem I have with familiars when I'm here is they really get in the way when you're dealing with Glacites. With Glacites, you're moving a lot. It's quite click intensive. If you've got a unicorn knocking about, you're going to click your unicorn every now and then, and it really messes you up, and it will slow you down. I found, I tried the Ice Nihil as well, which is a 5% boost to magic damage, and again you end up clicking on it too much by accident when you're moving around with the Glacors, so the 5% increase is lost, basically. But anyway, let's get into the method. So you put on this. Alright, so just potting up, use my thing, turn on quick prayers, just sort of get going. The most important thing to remember about the Glacites and dealing with them is they behave differently depending on what direction they walk at you. So for example, these ones are walking at me from west, and west to east are the same, and north to south are the same, but obviously the two are different. So when they walk west or east at you, they line up in the way around you in a triangle, with one in front of you, the Enduring, which is the one you need to kill first, and then the Sapping and the other one, Unstable, on the other side of you. I'll show you again when I kill the next one, but so for this one, because it's coming north to south, they're not going to line up with me. The Unstable one is going to end up in front of me, between me and the Enduring one, and because of this you have to deal with them differently. So I'll show you how to do it for these ones. I'll slow it down a bit as well. So you barrage them twice, you change them, and then you wild magic the enduring Glacite, and then you run through the unstable one, attack it again, barrage once, and then Dragon's Breath, and they're dead. And then you just get back, and I always use Asphyxiate on the Glacor then to finish it off. Start the next one. I've been trying this new ability, Smoke Tendrils, on them every two. You can use it to start, and it's pretty good. It does 15k. Anyway, but as I'm saying, so these three come, sack it twice, chains. As you can see now, standing in a triangle between me, so you've got to deal with it differently. You've got to run through the unstable one. Always make sure you attack the unstable one. The unstable one, for whatever reason, always comes through the sapping one. So if you attack the sapping one with Dragon Breath, it'll mess up. For some reason, Dragon Breath, even though it says it does damage in a cone in front of you, actually does damage in a cone in front of you, providing the thing that attacks you is in front of you. If the thing that you're currently targeting is what you cast that cone on, then it won't attack stuff that's between you and that. So again, see, as it ended up in front of me because it was going north to south, you had to run through it, and the enduring. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say. This guide hasn't been comprehensive, as I said. It's just a Glacite thing, because those are the things. All the other guides are perfectly good for telling you about gear and how to deal with the Glacors and how to dodge the range attack. But again, see, so because it's coming east to west, they'll stop on me quite nicely. And as well, you can maneuver yourself. I quite like killing these four. So as you see, it's just pretty simple, just like that, over and over again. But anyway, as I was saying, I like killing these four you've just seen me kill. I'm doing my fifth one now. I like it because you can maneuver yourself in such a way so as to pick up the drops whilst doing the kills. So you waste less time, because obviously, even if you're effectively dealing with Glacites and killing them nice and fast, it's pretty irrelevant if you're faffing about picking up loot. I see so many people around here running around half the time picking up loot. They're wasting a lot of time not doing anything. Another thing to note, I think it's the last point I really have, is that the enduring one is nice to step back. Oh, okay, I have 2 points. The enduring one is nice to step back whilst you're killing it, because it takes more damage, so it guarantees that it will die. Because if you accidentally leave the enduring one and kill the other two, just because you're chaining and then Dragon Breath them fast without realising that the enduring one hasn't died. Oh, I messed up there. The Glacor gains the effect of the last Glacite to die, so it should generally be sapping, which is kind of a pain because it drains your prayer, but the kills are so fast, and the profit's pretty good anyway. And another point with the Glacors is that you need to run a certain distance between. Sorry, because this is put together quite unprofessionally, I'm remembering little things as I go through it. So I'll show you. I'll do an example here. So you deal with the enduring one. That's fine. That's dead. And then you. Oh, I've not done it right. Basically, I'll set it up again. So you can, if you run through the unstable one but don't run far enough, it will mess them up and they'll stack on top of each other, and that's another scenario in which Dragon Breath won't work properly. If they're standing on top of each other, it'll only do damage to one. I'll show you with the next one. I'll just quickly get there. So yeah, chains, but then if I only run to here, they stand on top of each other, and then when I Dragon's Breath, it doesn't do any damage to the sapping one. So you need to make sure you run at least 2 steps. You can run further, you can run further if you want, but yeah, as long as you run at least 2 steps, you should be good. A few other little things for Glacors as well. If they freeze you, it stops your ability from being cast, so you just have to click it again and that ability will be cast. If you're going too rapidly, often you'll get frozen and you'll end up skipping an ability because it will go on cooldown, but it won't get cast. And as you just saw there, the sapping one lived, so you want to try and avoid, as I do quite often, using thresholds before you're sure they're all dead, because you can often after the Dragon's Breath, one of the Glacites will still require an ability, which, and it's easy to sort of, not be paying that much attention, and then you use asphyxiate on the Glacor and it doesn't do anything and slows you down a little bit. And also, I'll show you if you mess up as well. Uh, These ones actually, that's a good thing to mention. Sometimes when you're killing this one especially, it happens. As you saw that the Glacites came onto me normally as if they were running north, east to west. If that happens, you shouldn't run through, because if you run through, you'll mess them up. If that happens, you just got to be dynamic and just act as if they'd run east to west and run straight through them as shown, as opposed to blocking it with and running towards the Glacor as you would in general on that kill. And then, oh, I forgot. Okay, on the next kill, I will show you what happens if you don't stand straight on, which is the most important. Because the way to get the Glacites to spawn is to make sure they're standing straight on. As you see, between kills, I'm positioning myself in such a way so as that when they're at 15k health, I'll be standing straight onto them. So if you look here, that's what you want to be doing. But then if, for example, you get frozen and you end up over here, not only is it kind of bad, but it just means it's going to be slightly slower. So you just do it normally. If this happens, there's no point faffing around trying to get the perfect Dragon's Rage. You just kill them as if people do in the other guide. So just get down the enduring and then just use some basic abilities to kill it. So anyway, that's me done with this pretty. I don't know. I might have missed something. I'm not sure, but I think this basically explains how to deal with Glacites quite fast using Dragon Breath, which I think is the best method. If anyone knows of a better one, I'd love to hear it, because I've been doing these quite a lot, and anything to speed it up. Using this method as well, I've been getting, with my gear, the Virtus, I've been averaging between 550 and 600k an hour. It varies, depending on all sorts, whether I'm trying particularly hard. Sometimes I'll be chatting, sometimes I won't be. Sometimes, you're really alert and you're sort of try-harding, like yesterday when I used the Enlightenment Aura, whereas sometimes you're sort of a bit tired and not really bothering. But between 550 and 600k an hour can be expected with this. If you're only in Celestial and using the chaotic stuff, you still probably get over 400k. So that's about 100k kills an hour at 550k, about. So anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. I hope this helped.